we cannot get away from the security bits. We cannot get away from security issue in Nigeria right now in any area. But with farming, it has become kind of hyper-focused. There are farmers all across the country talking about, encroachment on their lands. There are, herders also who have issues. I mean, everybody seems to have issues. Be specific as to what you are dealing with in Nasarawa in the first instance. Have you, for example, had any, security issues that have impacted on the farming? I'm not even going to go to the emotional issues. They're big, that is big. But in terms of actually even being able to carry on and do what you're doing at the scale you are doing it, how has security been a drawback?
Yeah, okay, so I'll start with an example. So I think it was 2016 or 2017 when 71 people were killed in Agatu in Benue. If you look, when they deployed the IGF police and the army, it was to Tunga, it was to my farm. So supposedly that's where the attackers took off from, crossed the river Benue and carried out the attacks. Now what happens is the reprisal comes in this direction. And then I'm also across from Wokari, which is a troubled community in Taraba. So every time there's conflict there between the Tiv and the Drikon, again, my farm is where they come. So it's very difficult for you to access funding and expand within such a scenario, because then there's no guarantee of you recouping your investment, right? So those are the sort of challenges where you find yourself adapting to your environment and constantly re-strategizing every season just to stay in business. So instead of expanding on Nasarawa, I'd rather move location somewhere else and be flexible season by season, being able to move from one place to the other just to keep producing that same crop. But what it then does, it limits you in terms of your expansion on any one piece of land. That is the price of paying now. And it's going to become even worse because it's now happening in every single state of the country where there's insecurity. Insecurity happens in the rural area where you have about 80% of the food we consume here, right, is produced in the rural area, right? About 90% of people you meet in the rural area are farmers. So anything that affects the rural area obviously affects your food supply. And that's the picture I don't think Nigeria gets at this very point where we are, is that whatever is going on in the rural community is going to affect your ability to feed.
Right.